Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Network Africa. I'm Joke Rogers. Coming up on the program today. Nigerian troops engage terrorists in Borno State. The Pope turns the world's attention to Europe's migrant crisis once again. And the sentencing of South Africa's Blade Runner is set for June 13th to 17th. Good to have you join us. We begin with a summary of events that unfolded over the weekend. South African President Mr. Jacob Zuma has revealed the African National Congress election manifesto on Saturday, April the 16th in Port Elizabeth, where the party risks losing an important local poll in August. And then Kenya President Uhuru Kenyatta held a Thanksgiving prayer on Saturday, April the 16th as well, after the International Criminal Court declared a mistrial in charges against his deputy William Ruto and radio journalist Joshua Sang. Also during the weekend, the death of Italian student Giulio Regeni came to light at a news conference as French President François Hollande was set to seal a number of economic deals with his Egyptian counterpart Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in Cairo.
South African President Jacob Zuma revealed the African National Congress's election manifesto on Saturday, April the 16th in Port Elizabeth, where the party risks losing an important local poll in August. President Zuma told thousands of party supporters that they need to go out in their numbers on the 3rd of August to vote for the organization that they love. Zuma went further to say that the African National Congress was the only organization that liberated them and brought freedom. The president has faced calls to resign from within the ANC since a court ruled this month that he breached the constitution by ignoring an order to repay some of the $16 million in state funds spent renovating his private home. Zuma survived an impeachment vote thanks to the ANC's big majority in the 400-seat National Assembly and hopes to now put the scandal behind him. He is required by law to step down in 2019 after 2 5-year terms. Also during the week, Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta held a Thanksgiving prayer on Saturday, April the 16th, after the International Criminal Court (ICC) declared a mistrial in charges against his deputy William Ruto and radio journalist Joshua Sang. Kenyatta said the ICC case against Ocampo 6 collapsed because all those accused were innocent of fomenting election violence that killed 1,200 people and also through prayers from the Kenyan people. The last case to be dismissed by ICC judges was against Kenyan Deputy President William Ruto and broadcaster Joshua Sang, stating that political interference and witness tampering had made a fair trial impossible.
And I want to tell you,
well, troops are presently battling members of the Boko Haram sect in Borno State, Nigeria's northeast region. A statement issued by the Acting Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Sani Usman, says the terrorists launched an attack on troops of the 113th Battalion at Kareto in Borno State. The statement also adds that the troops have been battling the insurgents since the early hours of today. Meanwhile, residents of Buruku, Logo and Kwande local government areas in Benue State are presently living in fear as the state government struggles to bring peace to the affected areas. In 1 week, 18 people have been allegedly killed by herdsmen who also poisoned their source of water, resulting in so many of them being taken to hospital.
This is what is left of the communities in Logo and Buruku local government areas of Benue State. Houses destroyed and the communities deserted. This is as a result of the clashes between the farmers and herdsmen. Their homes have been invaded and their loved ones killed by the armed herdsmen. They have no options but to leave in the IDP camps. Some of the survivors of the crisis narrate their ordeal and are asking the federal government to help rebuild their communities.
They are not any longer going to school. Nothing is moving. They are just stranded, sleeping in a market square. So we are now appealing to the President of the Nigerian Republic, Buhari, that let him send his people to come and build a house for our people and let our children go back to school.
Within 1 week, about 18 people were killed, 36 were injured, and after that they did not end up there. They went to a way where the villagers fetched their water. They poisoned the well. So people that drank from that well were to be taken to the hospital.
But their sons in the House of Assembly are concerned about the plight and have brought relief to them and have vowed to stand by their people.
Our immediate concern was to ensure that even as you are displaced and become homeless, you do not go hungry and starve to death. And that is why the materials that have been brought to you today contain largely our foodstuff. I want to salute your patience in these trying times and to also encourage you to remain steadfast and avoid every temptation that will result in the breakdown of law and order.
Some of the steps we are taking is to request the federal government to ensure that certain strategic areas that are remote and are boundary areas that are prone to invasion of herdsmen are serviced with new established military camps and police camps, and some of the routes which are used to ferry in people from other parts of the world, of Africa, that are coming in to disturb the peace in this area are covered by immigration officers, civil defense officers, to ensure that every community knows who is coming in and who is going out.
While many of the nursing mothers grapple with the difficult times to care for their little children, the aged IDPs suffer more from anxiety and health-related crises.
Elsewhere now, UK Foreign Secretary Philip Hammond has made an unannounced visit to Libya in a show of support for the country's new UN-backed National Unity Government. The Government of National Accord released a picture of Mr. Hammond meeting with Prime Minister-designate Fayez Sarraj in Tripoli. It comes days after a visit from the French and German foreign ministries, who also gave their backing. Since 2014, the country has had two competing administrations. The new government is trying to restore peace in Libya, which has been ravaged by conflict since the fall of Colonel Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. During the visit, Mr. Hammond announced a £10 million funding to support the government of National Accord. Coming up on Network Africa. Well, the Pope turns the world's attention to Europe's migrant crisis yet again.